Hello, friends of Sudoku, and welcome to an evil puzzle by websudoku.com. You can see down here is the identifier. So if you want to give this a go before you continue to watch this video, you can pause the video now and have a go at it. I haven't seen this puzzle before, but they have millions of puzzles. So every time I go on the website, I get a new one served up. There's a 6 here, and there's a 6 here. And there's a 6 here, and that makes this a 6. And there's a 6 here, blocking these cells here. There's a 6 here blocking these 3 cells, and there's a 6 here blocking these 2 cells. So all of these cells here are blocked by 6s. Therefore, this must be a 6. And now the 6 here and the 6 here forces a 6 into this cell here because of the 6 in the bottom row in the corner here. So I think I just need a couple of 6s now. I need a 6 for this cell or this cell, and also for this cell and this cell, and I can't find those 6s, just not yet. Here's a little reminder for you if you often solve websudoku.com puzzles, at least the evil ones. I find that the first digits to find are usually the 2, 6s, and the 9s. For some reason, many of those puzzles make it easy to find the 6s, the 2s, and the 9s at the beginning, and then they become progressively harder. It must be something in their algorithm that makes it so. But as I've just demonstrated, finding the 6s for this grid was relatively simple. Now I'm going to look at the 2s. And I'm looking at the 2 here, blocking these cells here. And I'm looking at the 2 here, blocking these 2 cells. So a 2 for column 9 must go in one of these 2 cells up here. And armed with this knowledge, and the 2 here and the 2 here, we can now enter a 2 in this cell like so. And now I scan left and I see the 2 here and the 2 here blocking these 2 cells and these 2 cells. And that makes this, of course, a 2 now. The 2 here and the 2 here and the 2 here puts a 2 in this cell like so. And now this 2 and this 2 and the 2 here forces a 2 to go here. I still need to find 2s for one of these 2 cells and for one of these 2 cells. So they'll have to keep. Now onto the 9s. There's a 9 here blocking these cells. There's a 9 here blocking these cells, making this a 9. And the 9 going down here makes one of these 2 cells a 9, right? And in combination with the 9 here, this now must be a 9. The digit that goes here is easy to find. It must be a 1 because of the 1 here blocking these cells and the 1 here blocking these 2 cells. So this is the 1. One of these 2 cells must be an 8 because one of these 2 cells must be an 8. This cell and this cell, they are both blocked by the 8 here and the 8 here, right? And now we have a nice pattern. See the 1 and the 5 here? They put a 1 and a 5 in these 2 cells. While I don't know which of them goes where, I now know what these 3 cells are all about. They have to be about a 3, 6, and an 8. There's a 6 here and an 8 here, and that makes this an automatic 3. And these 2 now have to be a 6 and an 8. And quite interestingly, these 2 being a 1 and a 5 here, this is also a 1 or a 5, and this is a 1 or a 5. See the 3 here? It blocks these 2 cells, making one of these 2 a 3. It doesn't matter at the moment which one it's going to be, but a ghost 3 here and a 3 here forces me to find a 3 for this column. since it can't go here, here, or here, it needs to go up here because this 3 is blocking this cell as well. So this is a 3. We have another 1, 5 pair here because for this column, we need to find a 1, 5, 7, and a 9. There's a 7 and a 9 in this box. So this is a 1, 5. And there's a 1, 5 here. So this is a 7, 9. There's a 5 and a 7 here. So this is a 1, 9. All very nice, all very cute, but not a lot of help. But I can put a 4 in this place here because of the 4 here and here blocking these two cells and the 4 here blocking this cell. So this is a 4. Now I'm looking at a missing 1, 3, and an 8 for these 3 empty cells. There's a 3 here blocking this cell. There's a 3 here blocking this cell. So this must be a 3, and this is now a 1, 8, and this is a 1, 8. Just occurs to me that a 3, 6 here and a 3, 6 here, put a 3 and a 6 in these two cells. So these being a 3 and a 6, that makes this a 5 or a 7, and this a 5 or a 7. And this here must be a 1, 5, or a 7. And therefore, because of the 7 here and here, this is a 7, this is now a 1, 5, this is a 1, 5, and this is a 1, 5. And of course, this is a 1, 5. And I think I can figure out what this is going to be now, because this 7 puts a 7 here or here, right? Therefore, this cannot be a 7. And it cannot be a 1, 2, 3. It could be a 4, but not a 5, and not a 6, not a 7. It could not be an 8 either, because one of these two will have to be an 8, remember? But it could, and it cannot be a 9. So this has got to be a 4. And now the 4 here and here and here puts a 4 in this cell like so. And these 3 cells now must be a 5, 7, 8. And that makes these two a 9 and a 4. The 4 here forces a 9 to go here, and the 4 therefore must go here. Now the 9 here, here, and here puts a 9 in this cell, and these two 9s and the 9 here forces a 9 to go here. This is turning out to be quite an interesting puzzle, at least more interesting than most of the puzzles from websudoku.com. But I like this kind of logic. So since we know that these are 3, 6, and these are 1, 5, then this must be an 8. And these now have to be a 5 and a 7 in some order. We need to find a 1, 5, and a 7 for this cell, and this cell. There's a 7 in this row blocking this cell. There's a 7 in this box blocking this cell. Therefore, this must be a 7. And that makes this a 7. And this is now a 5. And we had a 1, 5 pair going on down here, remember? So in combination with the 5 here, this cell now must be a 5. And that makes this an automatic 5, doesn't it? The last cell up here must be a 1. And that takes care of the 1, 5 we had up here from the start. And the 1 here now puts a 1 here and a 5 here. We need to keep these pairs and triples in our short-term memory so we can call them up very, very quickly. Otherwise, we'd have to analyze the entire grid many times during a solve, and that would make us tired, annoyed, hungry, thirsty, and generally putting us in a bad mood. So that's why I tend to try to keep everything in short-term memory. What were these again? That's why 3 and a 6. Still don't know what to do with those. This is a 8 and a 6. And this is now a 7 and a 2 here and here, right? But we are getting very close now because the one up here is going to be, this is not a 7 because of this 7. This is not a 7 because of this 7 here. So this is a 7. And we have an 8 here or here, and we have a 2 here or here. But there is a 2 already in the column. Therefore, this must be an 8. And by the way, that makes this a 1, doesn't it? And this a 2. And this now is going to be 8. These two are now a 1 and a 3. We have a 1 in the row. So this is a 1, this is a 3. And this 1 and this 1 and the 1 up here puts a 1 here. Now we are very close to closing this puzzle. This is now a 2 because these two, remember, 6 and 8, the last digit missing in this row would be the 2. It goes here, therefore. And this digit up here is going to be an 8. And we got an 8 going down here or here. Then now one of these two, they have to be a 7 and a 5. Can't resolve those. What about these two then? They have to be a 3 and a 5. And here we can do something because of the 3 here. This is now 5 and this is a 3. The 3 here and here and here puts the 3 in this cell like so. This last one has got to be 8, making this an 8 and this a 6. And now this is a 6, and this, of course, therefore must be a 3. The last cell here is going to be a 7, making this a 7, and making this a 5, and a 5 must go here, therefore, and the center cell has got to be an 8. That was a somewhat longer puzzle than usual, I think, because it was not that easy. Was it an evil puzzle? I don't know. But if you're a beginner or an intermediate puzzler, then I think you might have found this to be quite evil. But as I've demonstrated, if you put your mind to it, it can be solved without using pencil marks. And it was quite fun to do so today. I thank you for watching, and I hope you'll come back for more soon. Bye for now.